Well, hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to When Wisdom Talks. I'm Alisha.
And I'm Kadesha.
And I'm Naomi, and welcome to When Wisdom Talks. We are back. We are back. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Let's just take a moment to celebrate, ladies.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
All right, all right, all right.
Y'all, we are back. We love y'all so much. Thank you to our
Yes.
Win Wisdom Talks family. All of October was rest month for us, so you got a chance to watch some of our favorite past episodes for the entire month. But we've got to say to all of you, thank you for hanging in there with us. And we are back. We are refreshed and we are ready. So this is a new month, new
Ooh.
theme, and new shows.
Yay.
And you know what? Again, this is my favorite season. Hello, pumpkin. Hello, pumpkin.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Hello, pumpkin to all of you, and hello, pumpkin to all the pumpkin flavored stuff that we get to have during this season, which have pumpkin spice, pumpkin everything. But we are
Too funny.
indeed in a new season, and I'm really excited. We're excited. We are the Wisdom on the Wall trio, and we are happy to spend this time with you for another month of shows. Listen, you won't be disappointed. But all three of us are back in effect. Alicia, our
Woo,
girl,
woo,
is
woo.
back. Ah! Yes,
Thank
I'm
you,
taking my
God.
time because we took off a whole 30 days and now we are back. And we got our girl Alicia back. So
Yay.
we are all excited, Alicia, to have you back in the fold. Thank you so
Oh.
much for all you do. We would not be us without you, period.
Oh, all right, stop. Don't start me. The
Waterworks,
waterfall.
y'all got y'all tissues ready? It
No,
might
Oh,
be
no,
Lord.
we're
emotional.
not doing that tonight. We're not doing that tonight.
That's right.
It's already shining. I don't need nothing else going on.
But
Oh, goodness.
anyway, tonight is a special night because, again, as we said, we are back from our rest month. We're excited to spend this time with you. And we always, always have a wonderful show planned. Of course, you know, I always say that's not my job to tell you what tonight's theme is. Kadesha will do a great job of doing that. But what my job is to do is to tell you what our mission is, and that is to empower women and men to live better and wiser through engaging discussions, fun activities, and inspiring special guest interviews. But tonight, we are your special guests. You get us all night long. You get to see our beautiful faces. And again, hello, pumpkin, if you're just tuning in. My
Oh, good
favorite
Lord.
time of year. Off to you, Kadesha.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So if you haven't noticed, we got the fall leaves, we got the flowers. Naomi
Mm-hmm.
done decked us out in terms of giving us
Yes.
a facelift. So she was not joking. She does enjoy fall. And I do too, to a certain extent, right? So the pumpkin stuff, the scarves, the boots. I could do without this 30-degree weather, whatever's going on, what's been happening here. The heat is on in
Mm-hmm.
my house. I'm like, wait, it's a little early for that. But yes, y'all. So we are back and we're glad about it. So this month, so remember, every month we have a different theme. So
Mm-hmm.
this month, our theme is divine connections, which is one of my
Yes.
favorite phrases, actually. I don't know. I just love how God orchestrates things and how He puts people in your life at the right time. So we're going to
Mm-hmm.
be talking a little bit about that this month, but specifically tonight, we're looking forward to tonight's episode because we're highlighting National Authors Day. And for some of you know our story, our backstory, but we met by writing a book. So we're tonight is near and dear to our heart. So we're looking forward to highlighting that and encouraging the inner author in you, boo, to come on
Mm-hmm.
out. And so, but before we got together, the three of us, were accomplished in our own right. So Naomi, with her and her background in media, had published articles, published journals. Like she's an expert in media. So people will ask for her advice in that area. Myself, I had a self-published book, Live on Purpose devotional journal. And get this, y'all, Alisha co-authored a book with Jack Canfield, the guy from Chicken Soup for
Chicken
the
soup,
Soul.
chicken soup for the soul. Those
Yes,
books.
yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. So, and her chapter, what you win, National Editors Award or something?
Yeah, the Editor's Choice Award. Yes.
So we was already doing our thing, but we came together and we wrote, as you know, Wisdom on the Wall. It all started as a book first, before it was a nonprofit, before we had the show. It all started with a book. So we're going to talk a little bit about the book tonight. As Naomi mentioned, the three of us are your special guests. So we're going to go over that. We're actually going to read some excerpts, and then, of course, if you have any questions, because I know most of you, well, I won't say most of you, or maybe I'll just prophesy that most of you are aspiring authors. And so if you have questions about that process, feel free to put it in the chat. But before we get started, we want to, of course, always ask you to like our page if you have not. Share the show. Okay. So you can, I think what in the right hand corner, it takes 2.5 seconds to go ahead and share the show. Invite somebody. We're going to be encouraging you, uplifting you, but also giving you some cool tips and tricks on how you can become an author as well. When you are commenting, go ahead and do hashtag When Wisdom Talks. We want to have that trending. And then we also want to remind you, before I kick it over to Alisha, is that, remember, we are empowering and encouraging 3 times a week. So we have a Monday night pop-up prayer call, a Wednesday morning empowerment call, and all those you can dial 712-432-0075. And Naomi, I believe, has the code up for you, 187975. All right. Oh, and if you have any questions or want to contact us outside of those 3 days, you can always contact us at info@wisdomonthewall.com. All right, then. We moving on to our next segment. Everybody say yeah.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Well, this is our girl. What's your story with a twist? It got caught up in there. But this is for those who may be joining us for the first time, new to viewing the show. Girl, what's your story with a twist? It's all about sharing what it is that we've done over the past week or weeks in this particular case, if we'd like to take it back that far. But just for you to get an opportunity to know a little bit more about us. But the twist is that we want you to reciprocate. So as we're sharing, please type away in the chat, letting us know what it is that you've done. It could be a great book that you read, maybe a movie you saw, maybe you found a new restaurant, a new dish, maybe you enjoy the new season like Naomi. But whatever it is, let us know, because it may be something that we'd want to try out as well. So with that, I guess I'll kind of kick us off. And I think for me, my story is all centered around just the appreciation of life. And I'm not going to go into detail because, like Kadesha said, no tissues tonight. Actually, I had to grab them. But in any event, it's just really appreciating the life that God has given us, and just the people that he surrounds us with. And for me to personalize, the people that he surround me with, oftentimes it takes something happening to make you appreciate the little things that you take for granted, not just the people, but just the little things that we do day in and day out. I think about being sidelined, with that little illness, and I'm going to call it a little illness because we're walking and healing. And the whole piece being, things like walking up the steps you take for granted. I was laughing because I was talking about finally being able to get in the car and drive. And I never realized that I had that little thing up at the top that you could kind of pull and hoist yourself in. And we were kind of laughing about it like, yes, Alisha, but I've never had to use it before. And thank God I don't have to use it now. But again, it's just the little things that you really don't think about. I can cook, but I'm not, one who wants to cook. But again, if you can't get to the store as quickly as you want to, and people doing life like they have to, working or whatever, you better figure out or get in there and whip up some food. So I am just so appreciative. I hope it's coming across. It may be a little jumbled because I'm just excited to be back here. And I just have to take this time to personally thank my sisters for holding down the fort, not just when wisdom talks, but wisdom on the wall, period. I'm used to, going and doing, and it was hard for me to just lay back. They're like, just chill, just chill. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And it's just like, oh my God. But they took care of everything. And it's just, we talk about divine connections. I just thank God for the divine connection. They are no longer friends, and we would call each other sister friends. We are sisters, we are, and we say we're blood sisters because we're covered with the blood of Jesus. So these are my sisters. I love them. And I'm going to stop talking because I'll take this whole segment up. So somebody could jump in now so I can stop.
Oh, well, we love you too. And, it's just funny how, God will connect, well, the three of us, but just in general, like if you just have an open heart to receive, like God will connect you with the right people that will become your family. Everybody doesn't have family that they're close to, but I just believe, and based off of my experience living in different places and for different, different seasons in my life, that God placed family there for me at that time. So, yeah, family is whatever you make it. So, yeah, we are sisters for sure. My son, what was it? Tell me something good. Oh no, we ain't there yet. My bad, my bad. What's your story? Something that I enjoyed over this last week. Actually, a week to the day. Actually, my mother retired after 34 years, and we was just able. Well, it was supposed to be a surprise retirement party, but wasn't so much of a surprise because somebody couldn't keep it to themselves. But no, I don't think they knew it was a surprise. So, but nonetheless, we were able to hang with some of her work family. Once you've been at a place for so long, you establish relationships. And so me and my sister adopting people that we're meeting there as our sister and brother from another mother. But just you get to see how people, kind of talk about my mom in a different light. Like we're used to her, as mom, but she cut up at work and did, act is a different person at work sometimes. So well, it just was fun. We had a good time. Somebody done brung out the musical chairs. So we was playing music. Well, I didn't play, I watched, but musical chairs. And we just overall had a good time. The DJ, what he call himself? DJ Android. Girl, when I tell you he had the best mix, I think he had it from like YouTube or something, a DJ mix from YouTube. It was no commercials, like it was phenomenal. And we all thought, we was like, where's the DJ? And it was a DJ Android, okay? So it was phenomenal. We had a really good time. And then after that, it was, relatively late. So I ended up crashing at my sister's house for a few days. So that in itself was something new that I don't think I've stayed at her new home before. So yeah, we crashed over there, me and Mike, and got spoiled, breakfast in the morning and all that jazz. So good family time for me is what I enjoyed this past week.
Oh, beans.
Well, I'm gonna jump right in because speaking of family, I'm using my girl, what's your story with a twist to shout out my brother from the same mother whose birthday is today. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Tim. My brother. What can I say? Oh my gosh. So I am indeed the baby. I am the baby of my sister, who I share the same father with, and my brother, who I share the same mother with. And so he and I are almost exactly 10 years apart. So my birthday is October 3rd. His birthday is November 4th. And my mother's birthday was December 3rd. And I always joke and say, you had to be born one day later. You couldn't be born on November 3rd, so it could be 333. His birthday is November the 4th. And so we're almost 10 years apart. If he had been born on my birthday, we would have been, but just 1 year shy. So he's my big brother for sure. Being younger, he was also like a father figure to me. has always been there. He is a pastor. Him and my beautiful sister-in-law, Tamika, have
No.
recently been installed as pastors of Torah Wave Riders. So shout out to
Okay.
that ministry. I love what they're doing and I'm excited. So happy birthday, brother. You are amazing, mom. And I'm going to reach over for a second so I can get mama this picture.
No.
Mom would be so
No.
proud of you.
No.
And by the way, can't you tell?
Yes.
Y'all twins for real.
Twins. Yes.
But
And then
mommy would be so proud of you, big brother. Everything that you have achieved, all that you are, father, pastor, husband, and the best brother ever, and uncle. So I love you. Can't wait to celebrate with you this wonderful day, a milestone. And it's a milestone because God allowed you to see another birthday. Doesn't have to be a
Amen.
milestone birthday, but every year, don't get me started on preaching.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Every year you see a birthday is a milestone.
I
But
love
that's
it.
my girl was your story with a twist. And that's my story in a stick.
Awesome. Well, thanks, ladies, for sharing. And again, hopefully you all are twisting with us and sharing in the chat what your story is.
oh
So
yeah, I
with
don't see
that,
nothing.
it's crickets. I'm gonna
No,
turn
but
it
I
over
do
to
want to
Kadesha.
share something because a lot of people are shouting you out, Alicia. Patricia
Oh,
Lee, she said, you look beautiful. Praise the
oh, thank you,
Lord.
Patricia. Oh,
And of course, Auntie Linda, Aunt
hi,
Linda,
Linda.
she was like, she thanks God for us. She loves you. And now she has two more nieces.
See,
Oh.
woo, woo, woo.
See?
Family, family. Love you too, Aunt Linda.
Yes.
Oh,
I love it. I love it. We got enough love to go around, honey. So if any of
yes.
y'all need family out there, let us know. Let
We'll
us
be we'll surrogate. No, we won't be surrogates. We will be.
know.
We'll
In a
stand
way.
in.
In a
Whatever.
way.
Okay.
Fill in the gap. Fill
Surrogate
in the
both.
gap.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Anywho,
All right. Over to you.
all right then. So we are moving and grooving, grooving and moving.
We excited. That's what we are.
Yes.
Oh
Oh,
my goodness. So we're gonna kick it off with the main topic. So as we already mentioned, you get three of us today. No special
mm,
guests. Actually, we are the special guests. And thank you, Naomi, for showcasing the theme again, which is divine connections. If you can't tell already, we believe that our connection is indeed divine.
yes.
Because ironic enough, we didn't know each other for that long before getting into the bed of business, if you will. So, it just was an instant connection when we met each other, in different locations at I think me and you met at like a brunch or something, networking event. Alicia and I met
At
at
your
a
conference.
conference, right? So it just really was a match made in heaven. And so
Mhm.
we do believe in divine connection. So we'll be talking about that throughout the month. But tonight, we want to highlight National Authors Day because I believe it was November 1st, if I'm not mistaken. It was a national holiday. And so, with us being authors, of course, we want to speak to that a little bit. And I know we always tell you about the book. Alicia had told us we tell them, we show them, but maybe we never went in great detail. So, we are going to give you an overview of our book, Wisdom on the Wall. Hopefully, you can see. Let me show you the back
Cool.
as well. But we'll give you an overview of our book. We're going to read to you some of our favorite parts of the book. We want to encourage the authors out there, help you get over some myths, and give you some tips and tricks. That's just what we do. So,
Mhm.
um, Wisdom on the Wall, if you think about it, it is I guess, a combination of, or a compilation actually, of the three of our wisdom in different areas. And so we are wise enough to know that our wisdom comes from a higher place, right? And so
Yes.
it comes from above, and we
Mhm.
feel blessed and fortunate that God speaks to us in different ways and has given us wisdom in different areas. And I stumbled upon Ecclesiastes 7 and 12, and it says, wisdom is a shelter, as money is a shelter. But
Mm.
the advantage of knowledge is this: wisdom preserves those who have it. And so
Amen.
we believe that God is, has, and will continue to preserve us with the wisdom. And so we feel an obligation to share the wisdom that He's given us. And so that we started it in a book. And that's all we thought we were going to do, was write a book together. And it turned into something different. And so we thank God for that. But we wrote a book, and we wrote to different women in different areas and different parts of their lives. And so each of us took us, I guess maybe took like a expertise or wisdom in our respective lives, and we wrote to these women. So we have wisdom for the everyday woman, wisdom for the single woman, wisdom for the wife, wisdom for the mother, wisdom for the grieving daughter, wisdom for the women with anxiety, wisdom for the women in leadership, wisdom for the working woman, and wisdom for the woman entrepreneur, and wisdom for your finances. Because as women, we wear so many different hats.
Mhm.
Sometimes we just want to get something covered. And so Naomi showed you her beautiful mother earlier. And so on the front of our cover, we have the women who inspired us and who instilled wisdom into us. And if you look on our, you may not be able to see it over the live stream, but if you look on our website, you'll be able to see that the women are in picture frames and they're hung on a wall. Oh, thank you. Look at you.
Naomi is on it.
And so we have these women hanging up on the wall because they're important to us. And so the concept behind the title of the book, Wisdom on the Wall, is that whatever's important to you, you hang up. And so the wisdom that we're sharing, we believe that the wisdom that we are giving to you is wisdom that you'll be able to hang up for years to come. And so it is really our mission to create, we want to just encourage sisterhood, and we want to encourage the sharing of knowledge and wisdom from generation to generation. And so I want to read well, the whole thing is my favorite, but I want to read from Naomi's chapter 4, which is wisdom for the mother. And so I'm going to read the letter in the beginning. And she says, "Dear Supermom, if you are reading this letter, that's great. Congratulations for doing something for you today. You deserve it. You did something that lots of moms fail to do. I'm a mom too, and I know how easy it is to get caught up doing stuff for everyone else that you forget to take a minute to breathe, relax, and do something for you. Sometimes as mothers, we get so wrapped up in being super mom that we forget that all superheroes have to rest at some time too, or at some point. Yes, you are indeed super in every way. You have managed to help with homework, sign permission slips, meal prep for the week, do the laundry, give baths, make appointments, take them to practice, drop them
Mm.
off to school, kiss away the boo boos, all while going to school, maintaining a career, running a business, leading a ministry, and the list goes on.
Mm.
Super indeed. However, while you are busy being super, make sure that includes refreshing your mind, body, and soul. It's
Mm.
impossible to pour from an empty cup. Fill your cup. Love, Naomi, also a super mom who proudly wears her S." And when I read that, I'm like, the list does go on and on. And, just with me being able to celebrate my mother last week, we can take even our moms for granted sometimes, and those who are mother figures.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
reading your list helped me to recognize how much mothers actually do and don't get credit for, right? Because it's not like you're clocking in, so you're not getting paid to be a mother. That's just your duty, your obligation. But then it's like, okay, in addition to that hat, you have all these other things to manage as well. And so I just want to give kudos to every working mom out there,
Yeah,
to every
absolutely.
mother or woman who's stepping in and filling in the gap for a mother who isn't or cannot be there. For every mother who has failed, and knowing that you can get up and you can try and try again. But kudos to the women out there who are mothering in some form or fashion, and
Mhm.
kudos to you, Naomi, because you do manage a
Yes.
lot, and you manage it with a smile, you balance it.
Mhm.
And I just want you personally to just continue to give yourself credit for all the things that you do. So that was one of my favorite parts of the book. So I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yes. Awesome. Well, I guess I'll jump in. I want to say real quickly, I was talking to Naomi before we kind of started and just said, every time I pick up our book, I just think like what an awesome book it is. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it because I'm one of the authors or, the three of us wrote it. It really is great. Kadesha did a great job with the overview. But one thing she didn't mention is in addition to the letter kind of opening up the particular topic that we're dealing with, at the end of each chapter, we actually have wisdom nuggets. So if you got nothing out of it, these were some key points we wanted you to get out of it. And then also we had a piece there called Points to Ponder. And
Mhm.
we had a couple questions and some actually spaces or lines for you to
Mhm.
actually answer the question. So it really is not just a book to educate you, to empower
Mhm.
you, but
Mhm.
also to do the work, and you as you deal with those different topics, what is the next thing, whatever the prompting of the question was, to be able to answer it. And as I was reflecting on the book today, I was like, I read a lot of books. I have a ton of books in my home. I take out books from the library all the time, but I have never found a book that was put together the way this is in terms of all aspects, where you have that letter leading in where we are writing from our heart. And then, of course, the chapter itself with, as Kadesha was mentioning, the expertise shared in those areas. And then also the piece in terms of the questions you can answer to really take it to another level. So,
Mhm.
again, I really enjoy the book. And the one that I want to read, and again, I love it all. But for right now, the woman entrepreneur pops out, and this is Kadesha's chapter. And I want to read the letter that actually starts it off. Oh, one other thing I want to mention: even though the letters are written to women, we did the first. If y'all remember, we did the interview. Our first interview was on the radio show, Naomi, and the DJ, if that was the right term, was a guy, and he was like, he had a chance to read the book, and he was like, y'all talk about is for women, but this book, the information covers men and women. So I want to point that out because the men who may be watching, maybe you do want to get it for your wife as a gift or whatever, but also you can read it as well because the
Mhm.
information is gender neutral, even though our letters open up to empowering women. All right, enough of that. So I'm going to go into the letter. So it
How
says,
did I know you was gonna mention that?
all inclusive, all inclusive. All right, dear entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur, I must start by congratulating you for taking a leap of faith. As an entrepreneur, faith is one of your gifts, so much so that I created the name Faithpreneur for you. To me, that is the epitome of who we are. Entrepreneurship is no easy task, yet it is one of the most rewarding endeavors I've ever been a part of. The mere fact that you can create something and share it with the world just amazes me. For that, you are amazing. Promise me you will keep going when it gets hard and don't let anyone downplay your dream. It's okay if they don't get the full vision, it is not theirs to get. Continue to beat the pavement until you see what God has promised you. It's important that you acquire the resources you need, the skills, the education, staff, or capital so the business can take off. However, don't allow a lack of resources to be an excuse for not getting started or going further. Use what you have until God opens the door for more. Please know that more is coming if you don't quit. Before God can give you increase, He wants to make sure you can manage that which you already have. Furthermore, He wants to make sure you will manage it with prudence. You must be a good steward over what was entrusted to you, and be sure to take good care of it because you will be held accountable for it. And in Kadesha's fame and fashion, yikes is what she puts in parentheses. And you get to see her doing that, right? Um, it says, so grow it as much as you can, impact as many lives as you can, and enjoy reaping the benefits that come along with entrepreneurship. You were on the right path. No looking back, only looking forward in business. If you look back for too long or to the side to see what others are doing, you will miss something. No time for that. God gave it to you and He also equipped you. Get busy and always remain fearless. Signed, a fellow faithpreneur, Kadesha. And
That was
I
good,
just,
honey. I need to minister to myself. Hold on.
look, I'm telling you, it was so funny because I was like, ooh, do I want to read the one on the single woman? Because that one spoke to me too. But I was like, you know what? This one is really speaking to me right now because, again, like I was saying, when you're sidelined and you're looking at what other people are doing in the period of time when you can't do anything, you could get caught up in that. And this so spoke to me like, no, what God has for you, He has for you. Nothing that has gone on in your life has caught Him by surprise. So just continue to do what you're supposed to do and do what you can do right now, and it'll be fine. And I also love it because for those who are watching, who may be aspiring entrepreneur, may be afraid to take that leap, just knowing that if God put it in you, He's going to bring it through you to do what it is that you're supposed to do. So I just really think this is so appropriate, especially for this whole time with the pandemic and a lot of businesses having to shut down, and people may be kind of wondering if they did the right thing or if they should go back in. And I think this is so encouraging. So thank you again for this because it is definitely blessing my spirit right about now.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. What
You
you got,
know,
Miss Guerrero? What you got?
yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of what Alicia was saying about the letters, and it is quite unique. But what I love about it is that it really prepares you for what you're gonna see in the chapter, the content in the chapter. It sort of piques your interest and gets you really, really excited. And that is what's unique about our book is that when we sat down and really thought about what we wanted this book to do and the effect that we wanted it to have on all of you and all of the readers is that we wanted it to feel like a personal experience. We didn't want there to be that disconnect that you may feel sometimes when you're reading a book. We wanted to break that third wall, so to speak, so that you could feel that we were connecting with you. So those letters, as I'm listening to it, I'm like, whoo, okay, we want to read this, the whole book over
Yes.
again.
Again.
Because it is amazing. And so I want to preface my reading with this and say that I am a woman in leadership. And for me to even say that has taken a lot of growth because I am owning the fact that I am a born leader. But the problem is that a lot of times throughout your life, you come against obstacles, naysayers, and it slowly picks away at your ability to own the fact that you're a leader. And so when I had a chance to read Alicia's portion talking about the woman leader, it really ignited exactly where I am. Like nothing is by chance. The fact that we're revisiting these specific parts means this is where we are right now.
Yeah.
This is where each one of us are right now. So we kind of pinpointed those areas that we needed to minister to us. So this definitely ministered to me. So I'm going to read Alicia's opening letter for wisdom for the woman in leadership. Y'all ready? Because she already, even in the dear part, she's speaking to you. Okay, so let's go. Dear large and in charge woman, as we unravel the complexities of being a woman in leadership, let me just say that whether you're leading a household as a single parent, a business as the CEO, hello, me, an organization as the executive director, a work team as the manager, or are leading a program as the facilitator, I truly understand how the responsibilities of being a leader can easily wear you down. As a leader, you not only have to passionately believe in the mission of your family, company, organization, team, program, etc., but you also are responsible for instilling this same enthusiasm in the people you lead on a continuous basis. Oh,
Mm.
how this can be more than a notion at times. And then she puts in parentheses smile. So of course that signature Alisha smile. And the best thing is, as women, we're not new to this thing called leadership, for we have had numerous past role models who have left and continue to leave clues on how to successfully navigate this aspect of our lives. There was Mary, the mother of Jesus, and the Queen of Sheba. Current day, we have leaders such as Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton. I am certain you not have to look too far. Excuse me, I'm gonna say that over. I am certain you may not have to look too far outside of your family, your own mother or grandmother, amongst many other leading ladies who have modeled phenomenal female leadership. And then it goes on to say a little bit more. With that truth as a backdrop, it's also important to keep in mind that in order to effectively lead others, you must first lead yourself. This undoubtedly implies having a firm grasp on who you are as an individual. Now, that part
Mm.
spoke to me. It really jumped out.
Mm.
Do you know your strengths and areas of improvement? Also, weaknesses? Do you have a thorough understanding of what motivates you? This, my sister, is known as self awareness, and I genuinely believe it to be priceless in this day and age.
Mm.
So let's get excited about the blessing of being a woman in charge. It's a privilege to serve as a catalyst in the success of the lives of others. You have the natural ability to encourage, appreciate, and motivate those who follow you. Let
Mm.
that truth resonate in your spirit. Let's leave a mark in this world that can never be erased. Loving how you look in that leadership role, Alisha. Listen, let me just say how that ministered to me. And then this whole portion of self-awareness
Mm.
is really the first step to you accepting yourself as a leader. And so now
Mm.
when I go into meetings and in boardrooms now, I own the fact that I'm the CEO. This is my company. This is
Amen.
my company, and I'm setting the standard. I'm listening to your needs, but I'm also setting the standard of what's needed on both ends. So that type of confidence only comes with spending time with yourself, asking
Yeah.
yourself those questions, and most of all, consulting with God to see
Come
what
on.
His will is for your life. So
Yes.
thank you, Alisha.
Woo.
It
Ooh.
was good.
Thank
So
you.
good. And you made a very good point, Naomi. Like, there it goes the divine connection again.
Mhm.
Because, each part that we read today was really, both of those really ministered to me. And so that was only God that had us to read those, particular portions of the book.
Yes.
So
Yep.
we had some people in giving some comments. It seemed like it was resonating with them as well. And we have
Yes.
Miss Carolyn Greer, who is almost a published author. She's giving us some hearts and all types of.
Oh, love
Yeah.
it.
We got some comments. First of all, I got to give a shout out to Dr. Jasmine Lee. That is my sister. We've been friends for I want to say 30 years. It's been a minute, but she is also commenting and she was saying how good each one of our parts are. And of course,
Oh.
Aunt Linda knowing the feeling because she had to be a leader of her siblings. So that's
Mm.
also a leadership style that
Yeah.
we don't necessarily
Mhm.
talk about is when you have to be a leader in your own family, which is that's
Mhm.
a whole other
That's
beast.
another level.
So now you're dealing with people who are familiar with you and there's a little kickback up in there. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. All
Mhm.
righty. So we're gonna move on to the
Yeah,
mix.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, as we're talking about this, I truly believe that every one of us have a book in us, or even two or more. But I think, unfortunately, the thing is, most people allow their fears to kind of hold them back from actually writing a book. And for the most part, I think the fears are grounded in myths or untruths that keep I call them would be authors from sharing their ideas, sharing their stories, sharing their experience with the world. So, In my normal fashion, I'm going to use the acronym. I'm going to use the acronym MYTHS, MYTHS, to quickly, just looking at the time, to quickly share some of the biggest myths out there when it comes to why people don't actually pursue writing their book. Starting off with the M, the first myth is my writing is not good enough for a book. My writing is not good enough for a book. In all honesty, I really think that's the biggest myth there is out there. We kind of criticize ourselves in terms of our writing, but when we start looking at the books and the authors that we think write great and so on and so forth, we have to keep in mind that those books have been through the editing process numerous times. So we're getting the final polished version. If we probably had seen the beginning words, it would give us encouragement to do the same thing. So again, don't get caught up in you don't think your writing is good enough. The why is you have to do everything. You have to do everything. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to know graphic arts to be able to do or create the actual cover. Again, you don't have to be the editor. If your words aren't coming together, if you have a good editor, they can pull all that together. So don't feel as though you have to be able to handle every aspect of the book. Because if that was the case, I wouldn't have done anything. The T in terms of the myth is too expensive to write a book. People say it's too expensive to write a book. But really, when you think about how expensive it is in terms of your budget for the book, it's up to you. It could be as expensive or as inexpensive as you want it to be. You really determine how much you want to invest in the various aspects of the book. So if you're hiring somebody to do your cover, there are a number of resources out there like Fiverr where you could pay somebody maybe $5 or whatever to be able to create that cover, so on and so forth. But again, just know that your budget is dependent on you. The H is for in terms of the myth is hard work. You'll hear people say, oh, it's hard work. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But what I say with that is think about your priorities, what's important to you, but also realize the fact that if you have a clear message, you have a clear plan to actually get it all done, it's not really hard work. It's just one step at a time. Take that first step and all the other steps will come along with it. And the S in the myths out there is schedule won't allow it. People will say, my schedule won't allow me to do it. And again, understanding that timing will never be perfect. There's always going to be something on our schedule. I don't know if there'll ever be a time when there's nothing there that we have to worry about. But again, going back to priorities, if there's something that we're really interested in and really want to do, we'll find the time to do it, whether it's writing 10 minutes a day or doing it on the weekends or whatever. You would just find the time in your schedule. And I just want to close by saying, no one has lived your story. Nobody has experienced the experiences that you have. So don't rob the world. Don't rob us of sharing that masterpiece that I'm sure has been brewing in your spirit for years and years. So don't let the myths hold you back. Debunk the myths. Okay. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, Naomi.
All right. And so I'm doing double duty. So let me remove the banner.
Well, while you doing that, I want to just mention on Alicia's myth for the T, too expensive to write a book. I remember meeting a guy and he thought that he had to take another mortgage out on his home just to write a book because he didn't know. And then I just was like, no, sir, it's not going to cost that much. You can do it. There's affordable ways, but knowing the resources and having those divine connections with people who do have the resources can really help you save some money.
That's good. That was good.
Yes, so I'm going to jump right into talking about tips for jump starting your writing. And for me right now, I am in a doctoral program pursuing a PhD in communications. And let me just tell you, it's all about writing. It's all about writing. You write a limitless amount of papers. So there are many times just as a PhD student where I find myself in this exact position where I need to be motivated to write. So writing, jumpstarting your writing could be helpful as an author or any piece that you have to write Kadesha already spoke about how I've written journals. I've written for magazines and also interviewed celebrities where I had to kind of transcribe our interview, and I needed to be in a space where I could actually do that. And
Yeah.
so these tips are good for you if you're going to be an author, a blogger, if you are in school right now, you got to write a paper, whatever the case is, this will help you. So this article, and I'm going to highlight this link and put it in the chat after I'm done. But this list has about 15 different tips for you. We're not going to go through all of those. I think I'm just going to do about 5 and keep it moving. But I'll give you the link to the site so you can go back and kind of look at it. But one of the main things, and we'll probably kind of be crossing paths as we're talking about all of this,
Mm-hmm.
set a writing goal. Set a writing goal. So if you want to complete a novel by a certain time, and you might not know the word count, but you know that you want to target it. Like some people use special dates as their target. Like I want to release my book on my birthday, or
Mm-hmm.
a loved one's birthday, or I recommend setting a date during a time that would really motivate you to go ahead and get that book done. So set that goal, which would include when you want to release the book, or even when you want your revisions done, things like that. Set a goal for your writing. Another good one is kind of overlaps, which is the setting of the deadline. So as you're writing your goals, include that deadline in your goal. And again,
Yeah.
as I said
Mhm.
before, you're going to want
Mhm.
to do a date that maybe gets you excited, a
Mhm.
birthday or a holiday or something. And
Mm-hmm.
even
Mhm.
setting a date around a special holiday may even give you an idea of a theme for your book.
That's
So
good.
all of these types of things are kind of intertwined. Another one is write now, edit later. Okay, so now
Mm.
I have to park here and deal with all my perfectionists for a second,
Mhm.
because it's going to be very hard for you to do that.
Mhm.
But the best way to get over your block is to just write the idea. It doesn't have to be perfect. And some of your sentence may not be as coherent. You can go back later. But the
Yeah.
point is to just get it out of your head. Just write, 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 write. And I realized that has been so instrumental for me in the PhD program, because as I get an idea, I just put it in my phone. See, technology is amazing. Okay. So they have the notes feature. Let me help some of y'all. Notes feature on your smartphone. Now, all smartphones have a little notes feature. You can do a little search on the apps in your phone. Use that note feature, or a audio recorder. So on your phone, even if you can't write it, use the audio recorder and say it into the phone and then go back. So that's all a part of
Yeah.
getting the idea out of your head and editing it later. And you'll see that you'll get so much more done that way.
Yes.
Another one is, and this is the fourth one, is find the perfect writing space.
Mhm.
So
That's
my
good.
sisters here know that recently I decided I was going to the library. I love my family. They're amazing. They're great. But when I am home, I get nothing done because there's mommy this, or honey, I love my husband. He is the best. But if I'm here and I'm visible, there's going to be honey this, or mommy that, or the phone is ringing. And so if I'm in crunch time, whether I'm writing a book or whatever the case is, I decided I'm going to go to the library. And the library has been
Good.
wonderful because they have different places inside the library that you could go to kind
Mm-hmm.
of spark your creativity. And another one that they didn't have on the list that I love is that you can play music, like study music,
Mm.
lo-fi
That's
music in the
good.
background, or jazz. Those
Mhm.
two things. Lo-fi music is amazing. That's Lofi. Lo dash
Mm.
Fi.
Okay.
Lo-fi music helps you to study. And I put that right in my ear. I go in my library and I just till it's done. Okay? Because when you're home, there are tons of distractions. TV.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go up to the refrigerator and get a little bite to eat. Yes. I'm telling on myself. And then the fifth one is remember that the journey is the destination. And this is the thought
Mm.
behind that, is that the thought of writing an entire novel can be overwhelming and paralyzing. Try focusing on the writing process rather than your ultimate goal. Be in the present and enjoy the experience of writing. And
Mm.
so I'm going to leave
Mm.
it right there. I'm going to
That's good.
copy this link. I'm going to put it in the chat so you can go back and look at these 15 tips. There's some more in there that I think you'll love.
That was good. That was a real good. Look, you said
Mhm.
you were telling on yourself. I thought you was just getting in my business.
Stepping on my toes meant I might have been stepping on some other toes as well.
It just shows we're all motivated by similar things in a lot of instances. So,
And
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Jasmine Lee Moore said she writes best early in the morning. And for some people,
mm,
that's definitely true. That
Mm-hmm.
you,
mhm.
depending on the time of day, it
Yeah.
might be better for you. I'm a night owl, so and that works for me because early in the morning I got to get the kids up. So I don't.
Mm.
So at night when they go to bed, that's when my brain starts going.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool beans.
I love
Love it.
it. Good stuff. Aunt Linda says she's been trying to write a book for a while now, wanting to tell her story.
oh
Mm.
wow.
Okay.
Linda, you can do it. You can do it.
All right now. Well, we got 9 minutes. So, do we have time for tell me something good?
Tell me something
Yes.
good.
I want to share this. You know why? I'm going. Let me play the little video first, and I'll tell you why. So the reason why I wanted to share this is because it's holiday time. You got Thanksgiving, and then you got the big one, Christmas. And so with Christmas, you know what that means. All the best holiday Hallmark movies. Hello. I
Yeah.
mean Hallmark Christmas movies.
Woo woo.
So yeah, I'm excited about Christmas because I love a good holiday movie. And so with that, Hallmark comes out with movies every year. They do the countdown to Christmas, and
Mhm.
they have all the amazing movies. So there are three that I'm going to highlight. I think there are about 10 new ones, but there are about 10 of them all together, or 10 of them all together, but I'm going to just talk about three. So this picture is for the highly anticipated movie entitled One December 9th, One December Night, airing from November 13th through, and this will be all the way up until Christmas. You can see it. They'll be putting it on rotation. And so the movie stars Brett Dalton and Eloise Munford. And so you can catch that movie. That'll be releasing again on November the 13th. Then we have another great movie you can check out on the lineup. And this is Jordan Sparks. I really love her. Do y'all remember her from? I think it was American. Was it American Idol? Which one was it?
I
I
think
think
so.
I think yeah, it was American Idol. Yeah.
yes, she was amazing on there. Her voice is awesome. But she's going to be starring in a movie called A Christmas Treasure, and that will be airing on November the 7th. Yet another exciting release from Hallmark this year, and it features a strong musical performance in the movie. So you'll hear some original music in there and so forth. And so I cannot wait. I'm excited. And so then we have another one, the third one. And this one is really cool too. This one is, which one is this? This one is Eight Gifts of Hanukkah. So
Mm.
they're
Mm.
also going to be featuring some Hanukkah movies throughout the countdown of Christmas to involve all of our Jewish brothers and sisters. And that one airs December the 3rd. And yeah, so there's going to be a lot of stuff going on
Love
in
it.
this whole countdown to Christmas, which I'm excited about. I know a lot of people are, my children are. We've already started the Christmas shopping. We actually do it 2 to 3 months beforehand so we can catch all the sales and all these
That's
things
smart.
before everything goes way up. So
Uh,
yeah, Get
Smart.
ready for Christmas, y'all.
Woo.
Hallmark movies.
Look,
And I
Oh,
check
so
you
it
know
love
out.
it.
what Naomi gonna be at. If you can't get a hold of her, you're gonna have to come up on the Hallmark screen, okay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to wait before in the commercials. That's when you contact her when the commercials are on.
Yes. Yeah. Call me on the commercials because otherwise I'm going to be in.
I
Oh
love it.
my goodness. That is too funny. Now that is really girly. Okay. I think we done lost all the men for the evening. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Nah.
Although Mike do be liking the movies. He won't tell you, but he do be liking the movies.
And he
It's on
low
a
key like
quiet
me.
tip. They ain't gonna say it out loud.
Mhm.
Hilarious.
Oh goodness, that is too funny. Wow. Well, looks like we're at that time where it's our wisdom corner. Where's our time we share a few wisdom nuggets. So who'd like to go first tonight?
All right then. Oh, I normally go last.
All right, I'll go. I'll go.
Okay.
So
I'll stay in the middle.
okay. I'll share a quote tonight, and this is from Franklin D. Roosevelt, and it says, "Happiness is not in the mere possession of money; it lies in the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative effort." And when I read that, I was like, "Wow, that is so great!" And I thought it went great with tonight's topic, and that I hope we shared some tips, some nuggets as it pertains to myths and really jump starting and motivating yourself to write your book, just to really to get started and to spark the creative juices that are flowing hopefully in you right about now, and that causes you to experience the thrill that we've been talking about of actually authoring a book. So again, just realize happiness is not in the mere possession of money. It lies in the joy of achievement. In this case, the achievement of writing your first book and the thrill of the creative effort. Just enjoy the ride as you're creatively putting that book together, and you'll have something to just think about and share about as you talk about the journey of creating your book. So that's my wisdom. We'll say show some love tonight, Naomi.
Yes. So my topic is love is life and life is love.
Ooh,
And
a
the
song.
reason, yes, love is, you know what? Don't get me started. I'll write a couple of bars. I'll write a couple bars. I love music too. But love is life and life is love. And in this world that we're living in now, we definitely need that connection of love. And we're talking about divine connection. And as we know, love is an action word. So if you're going to embrace the whole notion of a love, you got to show it. And
Mm,
so when you are connected in love, there are things that you do to embody that. And one of the scriptures that I love, it says, be devoted. This is Romans 18:12 and 10. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourself. And
mm,
another one that I really love is Colossians 3:14, which says, and over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in unity. So life is love and love is life.
yes.
I love
Ooh,
it. I
ooh.
love it. Well, and in the topic of National Authors Day, or in that same vein, I just want to encourage you, and I believe Alicia mentioned it earlier, that each and every one of us have a story. And so I just want to encourage you to share your story.
Mhm,
Someone needs to hear it. Somebody can benefit from it. So often I think we overlook our story and what we've been through, or oh, nobody needs to hear that, or we're modest, or we're embarrassed, but it could save somebody's life.
mm,
And so one of my favorite scriptures is, we overcome by the blood of the lamb, but by the word of our testimony. And so we overcome by sharing. And not only are we overcoming, but we can help somebody else overcome. And people,
mhm,
what I'm learning and continue to remind myself is that people don't need the masked version of us. They need to know the real us. And so
mhm,
they know the real us, and they can get to know the real us by us opening up our mouths and share, you know what, this is what God did for me. This is what I didn't do right. This is
Yeah.
what you can do something different by going a different path, and you can learn from my mistakes. And so
Mhm.
I just want to encourage you to share your story. Mary J. Blige has a song that I was jamming to that says, "Take me as I am, or have
Mm.
nothing at all." So
Yeah.
we thank you for tuning in this episode. As all episodes of When Wisdom Talks was brought to you by Wisdom on the Wall Inc. and Be Inspired Global. Yeah. So don't
Woo-woo.
forget to just connect with us during the week, okay? Because we are praying on Mondays. We encourage you on Wednesday mornings, giving you Bible for breakfast. We appreciate you tuning back in for our live episode. We are back with Alisha. We're excited that you're back with us. So we look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay in faith. Have a good night.